Guys, what is going on, man? Welcome back to the Cornercade. How is everybody doing tonight? Dude, we have a very, very special show for you. I was able to get a little bit of this busy man's time. G.I. Joel is in the house, man. How are you doing, dude?
Doing good, doing good. Yeah, just trying to keep up with the daily hustle, huh?
The daily grind of,
Yeah,
I would say, the work life, and then all these
work
orders
life,
now. And we'll get
family,
into that.
parent life, dad life, husband life, work life, and hobby life.
All of the above, man. I did a little dad life today, man. I've been on vacation. We went to the zoo today. Um, a little
Nice.
spoiler alert, guys. We did a walk and talk at the zoo. You guys will have some fun with that one when it comes out. But it'll drop later tonight. But before we get this show started, guys, let's bring you guys in the building right now. Want to say hi to everybody in the house. We got C North in the house. Let's get ready to rumble. C North, I love the energy that each and every one of the people that tune in to our weekly podcast show or just this channel in general bring is that positivity and that hype energy that I love, man. It's all about having fun. It's all about the home arcades. It's all about gaming, guys. Ralphie Duran is in the house. What's up, man? Of course, we got our boy G.I. Joel in the building. Love it. Jason, our moderator, is in the house. Thank you, man, for stopping by tonight. Gamer Fridge is here. I heard someone cool is going to be on. Yeah, it's not me, man. It's this guy up top. Let's go, man. This is actually, like I told G.I. Joe in the pre-show here, this is Joel's show tonight. I'm just here. I'm sitting back and listening to everybody else. This is a Joel show tonight. So Ralphie Duran is in the building, man. Julio Hernandez, what's going on? Galaga guy is here as well. Let's see what else we got. We got Ted Adam Green in the house. Love it. RK Dave is here. Thank you so much, man, for stopping by. We got Daryl S in the building. Of course, my boy OTG had to make an appearance. Thank you so much, man, for stopping by. Jay is in the house. Hit that like. That's right, man. We got 30 people in the house. Let's try to get 30 likes on this video. It goes so far to supporting the channel. Helps really, really much. You guys don't know. Dude, we got Michael B, the Game Genie, in the house, man. That's one of the best. I love saying your name, man. G.I. Joel is awesome, 110%. Yes, of course. Michael B follows it up with work-life balance is definitely important. Thank you so much, Jason, for putting the link to G.I. Joel stuff in the chat. Jason, spam that every like 2 minutes, my guy. We're gonna have a lot of dialogue tonight, and I want to get Joel's name out into the community because he does some awesome and fantastic stuff, guys. Oh, Vader Davis here, of course. Let's go. Thank you, man, for stopping by. Before we get started, and I don't want to get on a hype train all the time too much, but I'm just saying, like, when I buy a product, test it out, like, I'm gonna let you know if it's good or bad regardless. And this product just blew my mind away just from an aesthetics form factor and just an overall functionality of the cabinet. And we'll get into all this stuff. But Joel, let's back up the timeline to where we got to this point today. How did you start what you're doing now? And just lay it all on me. How did you get started essentially? How did GI Joel gaming become a thing?
Well, where to start? Where to start? So, it's kind of been building over the last year or so. But I mean, if you really want to go back, when I was, I think in high school, I had this dream to build an arcade cabinet. I wanted to build like a Pac-Man, a Miss Pac-Man sit down like cocktail table and stuff. And I went to yard sale and bought an Atari and an old CRT TV. I had all this stuff. Went to Lowe's, picked up the wood. I had all this nice Baltic birch wood and stuff that I was going to build the thing out of. Long story short, I never got around to actually doing it. It's always been kind of one of those bucket list things that I've been wanting to do. And what was it? Probably about 3 years ago, I discovered. So I got into retro pot or Raspberry Pis and RetroArch and that type of stuff, and started to realize, hey, I could build a cool multi-cade type thing. So I started gathering all the parts and stuff to do that. And as I was gathering all those parts and things, we had moved into a new house. I had this unfinished area of the back of the house and garage that I was working on to be a game room. So I was drywalling and doing that stuff and getting the house ready. I discovered Arcade One Up in the countercade scale. And so my first Arcade One Up was the Turtles countercade and the Marvels um, countercade. So we kind of had a Marvels comic book theme going on in the game room, and so I got those. I was trying to find a place for those as I was going, and that kind of ignited the desire again to get this arcade cabinet built. And so I finally decided I was just gonna, carve out some time on a weekend because I'm just had a kid and full-time job and stuff like that, and just always have projects, everything. I'm not exactly the luckiest guy in the world, so it seems like everything's always breaking, and always something's got to, I got 12 things that got to be fixed, and when I fix something, three more things break. So decided one weekend, in fact, it was the motor on my daily driver, my H3 Hummer died like that week. It blew up. And like I was just frustrated. We were still making a few payments on it and stuff like that. And I was just like, I needed a break from life. So went out to the workshop. That's where I kind of find my peace and relaxation, is working and building stuff. And so I went out there and just started gathering my materials that I had gathered over the years, and I built this multicade over here. So that's kind of
Wow,
what
that's really
got me
cool.
into it. And then I decided, if I'm going to have this multicade, and I got these little arcade countercades and stuff, that I wanted these countercades to kind of stand next to it. So I made these kind of risers for the countercades, pedestals that they stood on, that they're actually bigger than these ones, and it was so you could stand at them. And I don't.
I think I've seen those before. I
I do
don't
have
know
some
if that was
pictures
from
and stuff
like
floating around.
yeah, I don't know if that was from like one of your past videos or anything, but I've definitely seen that before,
Yep.
like whether it was in
In
a video
fact,
or a picture.
if you look real close at that, maybe if you click on that on the right 3/4 scale riser,
Which one? This one?
over one more, the actual the right the nope, the other direction,
Oh, there we
the
go.
actual the yoga flame.
Oh, okay, the
Click on
actual
it,
3/4 scale, yeah.
and right next to it is
Oh,
one
yeah,
of
look at
the
that.
NBA Jam stands. So I was making those just to put, countercades on for my own personal collection, and people kind of started to see those and wanted them, but they just they were difficult. I couldn't find a good cost-effective way to like ship them and stuff, where like people would actually want to pay money and the shipping cost and everything just to have it. So that was where the wheels started turning, and we decided to kind of cut it in half, and that's where the countercade risers came from. But they're actually kind of the second thing that I started doing. These risers that we're talking about kind of tonight, and that you've been so excited about, that was kind of the first thing I started doing um, down this venture, and I think stock jock. So I was, and what snowballed and kind of ignited that was I jumped in and was part of the great, virtual high five group of people that weren't able to get the KI, for the, what was it, $150 or something sale
Yeah,
that
yeah.
so I got mine canceled, but then they were like, well, we're sorry for that. We can offer you this Yoga Flame, or, they gave you a couple different options, and the Yoga Flame came without a riser. I was like, I really like the Yoga Flame, and I can build my own riser. So when it showed up, I kind of always had this idea of, making this kind of inline riser for it. And Stock Jock, um, in the community, he was kind of in the same boat. He got a Yoga Flame and he wanted a riser, and so he was like, hey, I'll pay you if you make another one for me. And so that was kind of where it kind of started, was, I made these risers, and they were originally, the thought was to make them like you're seeing them now. But I had concerns about, if I was, there was a few people that were interested, and had no idea how many of the one-ups and stuff were the same size on the base and stuff like that. So kind of rounded the corners down, and they had those kind of notch cutouts. So they're kind of like a mirror view of the bottom of the cabinet. And so it kind of made these little strange dimples in there, and sold kind of maybe like a half dozen of those to a few people just over the last year. But it wasn't really anything I was soliciting. It was something we talked about on the show occasionally, and created a web page or a Facebook page and stuff like that. And people were finding me and were reaching out when they'd kind of come across it. So I didn't seem like there was a lot of interest in the risers. So that was where I kind of started to focus on the countercade stands. And in the midst of kind of launching that, that was when you stumbled upon the risers and, started blowing things up a bit for me too with that. So orders have
Yeah,
been
so
starting to kind of escalate and come in. And, it was when I was watching you and Michael B and B Kong and P Dubs, I think, were all kind of hanging out on the stream, and you pulled it up and was like, guys, you got to check this out. Look at this cool riser. And they were like, yeah, that's pretty cool, but we don't like those, curves that, it'd be. I was like, well, I know. And so that was when you reached out and you were like, I want one of these. So I was like, hey, all right, let's do it. But what I want to do is make a completely inline riser. So that was, that's the one in the picture, and the one that you have now for your X-Men, that was the very first, one of this, the first prototype kind of model, and working out some of the details, making it a little bit, there was, iterations. I think when I sent the thing to Stock Jock, he had to screw it together with corner brackets and things like that. And we've refined it to the process now of like when you got yours, it was cam locks, and you were
mm,
basically just had to put a couple pins in and lock it in place. And so it's been a little bit of an evolution as it goes. As a background, I'm a industrial designer, so designing products and stuff like that is kind of, kind of understanding manufacturing and things is, the world that I live in. And I work, a full-time job for a large company, and, but it's definitely not in an industry or area or market that, is where my passion and excitement lies. So this is a avenue, of where I can kind of, get that, scratch that itch of the hobby. And, if it builds into something bigger and a full-time opportunity, that all the better. But, right now it's just kind of a hobby side
well,
hustle.
I will say this: if you keep getting orders like Fret Burner here, Fret Burner is the one that placed the
Is
seven
he? Yep.
riser order.
Okay. Yep.
So shout out to Fret Burner, always tuning into the program. I actually do have our very own promo code, guys, which you guys can save big on these too. So Joel and I partnered up to say, hey, look, I love these things and I want the rest of the community to have them. So if you use code Cornercade May 24, if you order two, you're gonna get free shipping. Which, guys, shipping on this is it's actually a big deal. And Joel, you can go into the fine tunes of like packing these things, getting them flat packed, the weights. I mean, shipping just a toothbrush is $20 now. So these things it will save you about $40, which is it's a big time code, guys. So if you were ever interested in ordering um this particular product, now's the time to do it. And Joel, how long will this coupon code go on for?
So right now I just got it set up to, go through the month of May. It was something, that you reached out and wanted to do something for your viewers and stuff like that. And, I'm totally for the community. I love, when the community has, these kind of sales and things that they can get excited about and rally behind. So I'm glad to be able to, be a part of that. Back when we kicked off the countercade stands, right at the beginning of November. So I got to do like a Black Friday, sale and promo codes for those and stuff. So it was kind of fun to participate in the Black Friday events and stuff too, to be able to offer that on Etsy before they shut me down. But uh,
What are you gonna do, right? What are you, we've
Right.
been on Etsy before too, so
Yeah.
no worries.
I
Um,
don't think there's a real human being that works at Etsy. I think it's all
just a
bots
bot.
and
Yeah,
algorithms that run the
must
thing.
shut you
Because
down.
yeah,
There's a lot of cool now. So we're still. I mean, Joel, you're still in like the riser has gotten redone now. I guess this would be like riser integration 2.0. You know, where you talked about the cam locks, the seamless integration before it was the two rounded edges, which didn't look bad at all. But I threw it out there to you in an email. I said, hey, like it'd be cool if it was just seamless. Like, you see that now on the deluxes. Can you
yeah.
do that? And you were probably already in the works of trying to do that yourself. So I just spoke for the many of people that are like, hey, I want to get my hands on this. Let's see what we can do with it. Now, some feedback I've heard, doing side vinyl art. Now, I don't know if you can duplicate said art. That's not really going to happen, but you said you might be able to do the color. So take Joust, for example. You may be able to do that brown and kind of just blend it in a little bit more. I mean, that would be huge, buddy. That right there would be huge. I think it would be cool to offer it as like an add-on. So much like some of these other companies do, I can order it bare bones, right? Let's say I just wanted this, that, and I'll do my own thing, or I want a cheaper way, and let's just say it costs me $85, right? Just for like the plain basic one, where you can go all the way up to like your very own like premium or deluxe line where you're getting all the bells and whistles. You said you offered like the tape trim that Arcade One Up does, or you offer real T molding. So like that's what I'm saying. Like you could have the real T molding, then the real side art or whatever you want to do, and let's just say it's $150 or something. Like you can come up with set price. What do you think about that? Like chat, what do you think? Joel, is that a possibility?
For sure. Yeah. All that is definitely on the table. Uh, what is it? So somebody always says nothing's impossible or whatever. One of the guys at one of the bigger
No,
companies.
that's Arcade One Up. Nothing's true until it's official
Yeah.
or something.
I don't remember, but yeah. No, for sure. Like I said, this is all. I didn't really start this out with the intentions of like right now. I'm not trying to run a full-time business, right? This wasn't like a venture that I started out saying, okay, I'm gonna start GI Joe gaming cabinets and this is full-time thing, go. And I didn't have like a huge business plan and stuff like that figured out. It's kind of something that's been evolving over time. Just being involved with the community, people saying, "Hey, I want one of those that you made. I like what you did there. Can you make one for me? I'll pay you for it." And then it, kind of became, well, how do I pay you? So it was kind of like, okay, well, trying to figure out some of these things. There's like, and people were like, oh, you need a website. So I put a website up and, found out, figured out how to, take payment and stuff like that. So it's all kind of this evolving process that, like I said, if it becomes a full-time gig, then that's awesome. So I'm just asking that people have a bit of patience with me as I evolve it, but definitely a lot of that stuff is on the table. So I'm in the works with, I don't, what was his screen name? Fretburner. I'm
Yeah,
kind of more
yeah, yeah.
familiar with him from his real name through emails, but working with him, so he's got a bunch of great cabs, and so quite a few of them actually are like the Tempest and things that are white sided. So we're looking at at finishing it with white finish rather than black, so that um, they match a little bit better. When I first started doing it, the people that I was doing these for, they were like, yeah, I'm gonna, talk to uh, arcade graphics or whatever and, get some graphics made and stuff like that. So people were skinning them. So I wasn't too worried about, what color finish and kind of how, because I knew they were going to sticker over all three
Mm.
sides. So making them all black and just making sure that the edge color matched up was kind of the priority. But now I'm starting to get, a lot of requests, of people like yourself that have cabinets shoulder to shoulder. They're like, I don't really care about, putting vinyl on the sides and stuff as much, but, I want it to kind of look like, it blends in, so can we, maybe make it white, or for a Joust, it's not a black riser, it's a brown riser. So
Mm.
I'm getting color codes to kind of match Joust, trying to do some finish in white and, what are so the other thing I've discovered in this process is that I was starting to discover this and uncover it with countercades. Arcade One Up is not exactly very efficient in their engineering and design process, like reusing the same components over and over again that could be reused, with the exception of buttons. I think it sounds like they use the same buttons and everything, but there's certain things it's just kind of like I scratch my head of like why did they make that change? Like I discovered with the countercades, there are at least four different bottom footprint designs of the countercades. So my stands, I can't just make one that all the countercades fit on. The in order, there needs to be like four different variants in order for them to fit on, because some of them, are just like an inch longer. And it's like, well, why didn't you just use the same,
Yeah,
molds
right.
and stuff?
Like,
And it's simple stuff like you wouldn't even think with the Mortal Kombat two-player and the TMNT two-player. You would think that the only difference between those and the one player is the deck, but no, the cabinet is actually like on the single players is 1 inch deeper than the two players. So they don't share that same footprint to drop on. And so that's the same thing I'm discovering with the risers as well, and the cabinets is there seems to be a kind of a loose common size and dimension and shape that they used on the majority of their cabinets. Um, but some of them are different, like T2, which is understandable. It's clear that it's a little bit longer, a little bit taller, but then just out of the blue, we discovered I shipped one off to a customer last week, and they got it and put it on, and we discovered that it won't fit. The MK 30th Legacy Edition, you would think that is, probably the same cabinet design and everything as like the Yoga Flame and stuff, that midway look, but it's not. The dimensions are all the same, but the bottom curves on, those small 2 inch pieces of MDF that go on the
yeah,
bottom
those
of
like
it. Yeah.
shims or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just little tiny pieces. They actually have different corner radiuses on that cabinet than
God, that
the
is so
others.
weird. Like, isn't the whole point to them and to have a cookie cutter design to save
Yeah.
money?
And
Oh,
like all of them,
every day, I wish Arcade One Up would just hire me for effing sakes already, and
it's
let's
crazy.
get this done. Like,
Because
God
like
bless America.
similar bottom, exact similar bottoms so far that have been confirmed are like Simpsons and Blitz and Yoga Flame, all different cabinet shapes, right? And even the X-Men and stuff, they're
Yeah.
all different kind of styles. But then what, I would have never thought, the Legacy 30th anniversary or whatever would
No,
have
no,
been
no,
different.
yeah. You're
But
gonna have to have a
just
you're gonna have to
randomly,
have a graph chart,
yeah,
and, you're gonna I think when anyone goes to order these, you're gonna have to have a drop down menu to where
yeah,
you're selecting on what
right.
specific cab, because it's a who's
So
who,
that's
to say the least.
the little bit of challenge that I've been coming across. So over the weekend, I put together a template to email out to people that have been purchasing them, so that they can confirm if they're ordering it for a cabinet that I haven't confirmed yet. Um, I'm gonna upload it to my website too, so that people can download it and check it ahead of time before they order too, if they are concerned about placing an order and before. I eventually hope to be able to have adjusting, so it's not just because right now it's set up so that you just select the color that you want as far as trim. I anticipate having, a drop down, of selecting your cabinet. So, is it a T2 cabinet or, which cabinet it is, so that you can confirm, because the T2, it's the exact same curved diameter dimensions. It's just 2 inches deeper. So it's just a slight adjustment that I need to make. Um, but
Now,
then on the other hand, we've had people request height, right?
yes, Joel, how do you read my mind, bro? How do you read it? I'm like waiting for the tag, and you already were whooping ass in the ring. 100%. And I just want to set you up here. So Mrs. Corner Cake, you know what? Let me just show you real quick behind me so people can get kind of like an idea. So behind me, guys, let me move myself. So X-Men is on this fantastic, beautiful riser. This is our X-Men Deluxe project, as you see here. And you can see all three heights. And Mrs. Corner Cake was like, "Man, I just because she doesn't want her baby to be like the short stout of the bunch. So she's like, man, I just wish it was literally like 2-3 inches higher." Now I told her, I was like, you don't want to play with fire like that because you're gonna raise the control panel here 2 to 3 inches as well. So it's not like he's cutting this part off and making this part higher. So but you can kind of see here, this is a Mortal Kombat 2 Deluxe. This is the Dynamo, 63 inches high. This is 61 inches high. I want to say this comes around 57 and a half or 58 inches high, just to give you
And
guys a
Michael
reference on that.
Michael B hit it on the head last week on Super Game Room Dudes too, when you guys were kind of talking, going back and forth in the chat and stuff, and him and P Dubs and stuff were looking at it. That original cab is a bit shorter than most of the others
Yeah.
too. So,
Yep. Yep.
well, it says on my website, that these actually they add 2 inches onto the stock, which is true. It adds 2 inches to whatever cabinet you're putting it on, but unfortunately, it can't add 2 inches more compared to this cabinets next to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just by
Well,
the nature of I built the risers to the dimension of the stock risers, so the same
yeah.
height, with the intention so that people could easily order graphics for a stock riser and put them on mine and trim them out.
That's the other thing too. So I think it would be a good idea to have like a standard, medium, and high height, kind of like what Buy Stuff Arcades does. Because think about
Yeah.
it. I'm 6 foot. I'm just a standard adult. This actually doesn't bother me. That's what if it's an inch higher or whatever, that'd be great. I'll take it. Kind of get them more in line. But an arcade, they're all loopty doopty anyways. But I think for somebody that's a little bit taller, maybe like a 6'5" person, it would be cool to have that variant of, hey, look at this will add, I don't know, 10 inches to your height. So people can kind of like play them without being must sit down cabinets. That would be a cool idea. I don't know if that's possible with the dimensions and the wood and all that jazz.
Yep. No, I've heard it. I've heard it. I've had a lot of people reaching out already, asking and requesting, them to be taller and things. And I see, that definitely. I mean, love buy stuff products and stuff. They obviously, have a good thing going with their riser boosters and stuff too. So it's clearly a need that people, need to have them adjusted for certain heights. So something that I want to offer. I'm just trying to figure out some of the logistics of it too, because like trying to keep it as simple and easy for me to be able to knock these things out and mass produce these out of my garage as a one man person, so the more things that I can keep simple and consistent, the better. But that's where I'm kind of running into a problem with that of I don't want to stock, hundreds of different variants of things so
No,
that,
yeah.
people place an order. So, and then just, you never know when the orders are going to come in. So making them as they go too is also a challenge. So, right now, I ordered a pile of boxes to ship these things in that they'd fit, in the current form. So when we start making them bigger, it's like, now I got to find some new boxes.
That's
And,
the twofold, 100%. Like,
they're carrying stock in different boxes on
yeah,
hand.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Things
It
like
it
that.
becomes a whole
Yeah.
production, literally. So,
So
which
yeah,
is a
I've
good
I've
thing.
heard it, and I'm working on it. There's actually a couple people I think that have placed orders that for some bigger ones, and so I'm completely open to customizing and making things for people. Feel free to reach out, on my email on my website and stuff ahead of time, or even after your purchase and stuff. I'm flat like what you see on the website isn't the only thing and the end. This is an evolving process. So I enjoy working with people. The collaboration and their input only makes the products better. And so as we come up with these ideas together, then I'll upload them on the website when I have final templates and stuff confirmed that I can pump these out, another one and another one, in a row. So, but as long as people are patient and willing to work with me, and, not in too much of a rush. trying to improve and offer as much as possible. I'm a big customizing person. I enjoy making things custom and unique for my own needs and how I envision them. So I know that there's challenges out there of trying to, not a lot of people want to work with people to customize and make things unique. It's like just order what I got and be happy with it. But for me,
Yeah,
I'm
you
open. So
so and Joel, that's a great attitude to have because I was always I'm always the type of person that if you stop learning in life, just in general, you're gonna fall behind, and then pretty soon you're done. Like whether that's be a company, in school, in sports, on a podcast show, you gotta evolve. Like you can't stay stagnant. You gotta give the people what they want at the end of the day. You gotta. So that's always good. That's good. We're hearing it live in the chat, guys. If you have questions for Joel, I mean, now's the time to ask him. We got him live and in the building. I know sometimes you don't get those questions asked. You got to send my email and you're all over the place and it's like too much. So this is a great time to that we're able to have you on live that everybody can ask. Like here's a great question here. What is edge banding by Zero Redux?
right. So edge banding is what you see on all the arcade one-ups. It's basically that thin strip of plastic, colored plastic, and it has hot melt or basically hot glue on the back of it. And so you apply it with like a hot iron press on the edge of the cabinet. And so that's what you see on all your arcade one-ups. A lot of your machines that are out there, your real full-size arcade machines, are made with T-molding, which is another, it kind of got a little bit of a curve edge to it, and it's stuck into a groove that's cut, through the panel. And so originally, you know, T molding's easy to find. You can find it all over on eBay and Amazon and, websites and stuff. There's in fact tmolding.com, you can go
Yeah,
to.
that's literally the website.
But unfortunately there is no edgebanding.com. And that when I started getting into the countercade stands, that was where I really had to do some digging and research to try to find matching edge banding. And so that's been a little bit of the challenge. There's not a whole lot of there's not a lot of places that sell edge banding, and so I've had to go found a couple places in like China that placing orders with that send it to me. They have a good selection of colors, but most of the colors are pastelly and stuff like that. They're not really meant for arcade. They're more for homes and counters and IKEA furniture and stuff like that. So I haven't been able to discover, where Arcade One Up's getting their edge banding from to get a complete match. But I do have some, like red and green and yellow, blue. Black and white and wood grain are easy to find. You can find that stuff all over eBay as well for your own DIY projects. But some of the stuff like the purple is a little trickier to find. So that's one of the. And for a lot of people have been asking, I'm going to try to get some pictures up to it's not a huge noticeable difference. Like if you're just standing looking at the cat, you got to get right up close to be able to notice that you got T molding on there on your riser versus edge banding with where the edge banding will match up like perfect, because everybody asks which is going to look better or which is going to match. It's actually which is going to match best is the question I get. And so, I mean, obviously at the end of the day, edge banding meeting up with edge banding is probably going to match the best, right? Because it's, your same material. It just looks like a seam. Whereas the T molding, the color and everything, it matches. It doesn't really stick out. But if you look, it's got just a little bit of a contour to it, and you can kind of tell that it's just a little bit different. But that's if you're up close and nitpicking.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of it, that you did a great job with the edge banding on X-Men. It's literally a one for one match. So awesome work there. I know I have a Blitz, so I have two risers from you. We were gonna originally use that one for Blitz, so it's got purple T molding on it. So I got to see both.
Yep.
I will say T molding is used in real arcades, and that probably hold up a little bit better than edge banding, especially if it's on the floor there and you're kind of kicking it. But we're gonna swap that out now because I there was a great deal on Simpsons for
Right.
at this point, Joel. I've sold the Simpson sign and stool on Marketplace. The cab was free at this point. It was
Nice.
literally free. All I got to do is sell the control panel once I put the two player in, and I'm gonna put some money into it. Oh, and I sold the riser too. I forgot about that because I have the Joel riser now. So that's why it was free. I'm sorry, my math didn't add up there correctly. So I sold those three things. I mean, people buy anything on Facebook Marketplace. Great place to sell stuff. But so we have the purple T molding in there, and Joel was nice enough to send me the yellow ones. He's going to be sending me the yellow ones to match. So
Yep.
I'm really grateful that we had to change the plans. I mean, the Simpsons needed height, even if it's a half an inch at this point. It needs all the height it can get because those cabinets, from those body styles, the Simpsons, the TMNT, and the X-Men are all just they're short, and that's why we sold them to begin with. Because Arcade One Up started coming out with these new form factors that you see in the Midway style, in the Shin Hadouken, the Mortal Kombat's, the Street Fighters they put in there. So I was like, to my wife, I was like, hey, these arcades are beefier and they're taller now. Let's get rid of these ones. And, they're four players anyways. Literally, we got rid of three and we had room for eight. That's the difference right there. Eight to three is a no brainer. So that's what we ended up doing. And then we brought X-Men back. We really liked it. And because of one of your products and 99 Lives Arcade, that we were able to get that two-player panel in
The
there, we could
X-Men,
actually
huh?
make it work. Yes, the X-Men. I love it.
Wore that just
But
for you.
thank you. I appreciate it. I should have worn my X-Men hoodie. I don't know what I'm thinking here. Um, but so yeah, so really cool stuff that you got going on here because it was able to bring another fan favorite arcade back into our home arcade. And the same thing can happen to you guys, like a cab like Golden Axe right now is on sale. I think it's like $150 off. Now's a chance to put a GI Joe riser on that, give it a beefier form factor so it's not that short swan design that was from Gen 1, 2, 3, whatever. And it could literally bring a new arcade into your home arcade where it's not so short and there's that screen cut off. I mean, to be quite honest with you, a cabinet that we recently had, an Atari 50th anniversary, that was too short. There was screen cut off, and I'm only 6 foot even. I'm an average adult, so I can only imagine a guy 6'2". You can't play the cab. You have to sit down, and even sitting down at that point might not cut it. I don't know. So, products like yours and other modders in the community can really help bring those games back to your home arcade that you kind of missed out on.
I'm definitely I don't wanna claim that I'm making anything that this isn't, like, groundbreaking and, my own original, idea and stuff but, I mean, I didn't steal it from anybody and anybody's design, that's for sure, but there's definitely been people out there and great talented people that have made their own risers, and I fully encourage that, I'm just, the people are asking, so I'm not trying to peddle and sell anything on people, but on it. And I think I've seen a few people comment, "Oh, I came up with that idea years ago" and stuff like that. And it's like, and some of them share pictures, and it's like, well, yeah, you did kind of come up with that, but you basically just made a smaller arcade one-up riser. It doesn't integrate with the curves and stuff like that. It's just you made a smaller box for it to sit
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, there'll
um,
still be like lines on the side or something like that. And the whole
and
point
I'm
too.
trying to make these, as professional as possible, like with the cams and stuff like that, so it's easy. I think your video did it a great job of showing how easy it goes together. I'm trying to make it quick, simple. So easy that Danny can do it.
Yeah, honestly, that it should be trademarked. So easy, the corner cake could do it. I mean, honestly, it was like four
I wasn't
pieces.
sure if Mrs. Cornercade was going to be around, so I had to make sure it was super
Yeah,
easy.
100%, man. Come on now. She's the master modder in the building. I'm just here. I'm just here, guys. She's the brains and the backbone behind this whole production. So yeah, and one thing I do want to touch on too is that depending on the cabinet, you get those midway style where you got the control panel on the side, but depending on the cabinet that you put it next to or you're lining these up against, I mean, a riser takes up a half an inch on each side, so you got an inch per cabinet. I mean, if you times that by 8 cabinets, I mean, you could literally fit another arcade into your home arcade just by getting rid of some space and some inches there. As odd as it sounds, guys, we actually just moved, and I'm dead serious about this. We moved our drink shelf that was actually adjacent over there in the corner. If you've seen our room tours, you know where it is. And we put the drink shelf right next to Atari Star Wars, so you can actually kind of see it right there. And it's just a floating drink shelf that we like to, you got to have room for drinks in the arcade or food or remotes or whatever. And that was we were able to slide everything down, and now we can fit Golden Tee into the arcade. So just a simple drink shelf that we modified. So, and that's only, I think, 8 inches thick. So, if you get your couple of your risers, I mean, that can make space for something a little bit, for another arcade, or who knows, a drink shelf if you want it. So every inch counts in a home arcade, guys. We already know that. So I just wanted to throw that out there to the community that this is a space saver too. At the end of the day, one thing I do like as well is that me and my wife. So when we again, every inch is a mile here. If anybody has those electrical, outlet strips, the surge protectors, we actually used to put those into the riser. So we get like an eight length one, for 8 different outlets, and we would put it inside the riser. Take it, and so we can then push the arcade back another 2 inches, give more rows and spacing. Your product is open on the outside, on the back side. So my wife was like, "This is great," because we're constantly moving these, because we're buying new products and stuff and selling products. So she's like, we can just slide them right in. It's not a whole production. Take the thing off the riser. It's a lot of work. I know it sounds simple, but it's a lot of work. You got to move the cabinet completely out. And if you got your room crammed with these things, you got to move like 5 arcades just to get to it. So your
Right.
product, you can just slide it out, slide it in, and you're done. And there's like a little shelf there that you can put different components on. You can put like a space if you want to do speakers or something like that. A lot
Yep.
of cool stuff, and my video kind of
It's a good nook
dives
for
in on
your
that.
cat if you have cats.
Exactly, a little house for the kitty cat
I
left.
saw somebody say, like if you have a modded cab, it's a good place to store the keyboard or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're gonna
I
try to
did,
soft mod the
there was a
Simpsons.
lot of people that were, I did see there were some questionings of, why it was open in the back. And I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of thought that really went into it. More, it was, I was looking to try to make something that had the least amount of components and assembly required, the least amount for shipping purposes, but still had the strongest structure, as far as design. And so it's, I think you can attest it's super stable, and it doesn't necessarily, the only thing that, reason to put it back on it would be to close it off, for, if somebody didn't like the look. But, personally, I never really put much thought into, people being caring too much of what the back looks like, because I mean, Arcade One Up throws that gaudy brown, panel on the back of it. It's not even colored and stuff. So
Yeah,
kind of figured,
typically,
everybody's going to push these up against a wall or something. So
yeah. You're
I
if you make rows, they're going back to back. You don't have cabinets really exposed like that. And if you do, send me your home arcade, guys. We're always doing home arcade tours, and I'll help you out. Miss Corner Kid and I will make sure that your room fits more arcades in it.
And
100%.
it
Like
makes
she
it easier to attach it too. I saw in your video you took the back panel off, but you don't have to take the back panel off in order to attach those, right? So it
why
just drops
why
on,
no
and
why
you can
did I
just
take the yeah why did I take that off?
you
I
might
don't
have had
know.
some other mod you were doing at the
I
time
think
too.
so. I think we were doing something else too with. I don't know why. Yeah, you're at the good question, because you don't need to. These
No,
things just go right on, just like a riser would. It's
yeah.
just going on top of that. So yeah. If you guys, yes, Jay, 100%. I mean, whatever you want to store in there, GI
There
Joel's got you covered, my guy.
you go.
Okay, so
That was a good
got,
point. All my cabs and stuff, they got power strips and everything that are right next to the wall, so that it does make it a little nice to be able to push those up without having that couple inches that it's button into that power strip and
I'm
stuff.
telling you, and most people, I would love to have a basement and have 100 of these things in there, but I don't right now. And I have a 14 by 14 inch foot room here, and literally the 2 inches. If I go 2 inches to one row, 2 inches to another row, it makes it so my ass isn't hitting up against the control panel to another cabinet. So it does actually make a difference, guys. You're hearing it from the horse's mouth right here, 100% for that one. But Guys, we do have, and you can always keep the questions coming tonight, guys, but we do have a giveaway, Joel. So I was able to partner up with Joel. And Joel, why don't you tell him what the giveaway is, buddy?
I don't even know what the giveaway. No. So
We're
no,
giving away
Danny's
we're giving away Joel's house, guys. The keys to the house.
Danny and Mrs. Cornercade, they're quite persuasive people. They love the community. They're so energetic and enthusiastic. You know, you would think that they are on my payroll as much as they're out there. You know, dropping the ad and the link and promoting these things and stuff. And I kind of feel bad because I'm not giving them a dime, but. But they've been just great. So I do appreciate how they're always trying to look out for their viewers and their Danny's community that he's been building here. And I got to say, you've come a long way from, when you first started your channel. You've really, you're always making little improvements and stuff like that. And I think that's always the best. Always be improving, right, and changing and
100%, man.
making something, and it just you keep looking more and more professional. So with that being said, they convinced me to, and it wasn't too difficult. I enjoy giving to the community too. So we're going to give out a riser of the winner's choice. So, and it's going to be completely free too. I'm going to cover shipping and everything.
Dude, let's go, man. I'm hyped for this. You shouldn't have told me the question or the answer. Then I could have see if I could get it. Oh man, this is gonna be cool, man.
It just something to give back, especially as is it excited enthusiastic. Because like I said, I started making these the risers back last almost a year ago. So, and they just hadn't been that much interest. And maybe it was just because there wasn't a lot of exposure and stuff yet. But, just in the 2 months, that you've been talking them up and, everything, getting a lot of orders. People are excited. They really like it and appreciate the product. So I appreciate that. And so as a token of that, let's give one away. Whoever wins it,
dude.
they can pick out what they need it for, and we'll customize it, however,
100%. Dude,
what color T-molding
those are kind words, man. We're just doing what we do over here. Like I said, guys, sometimes I don't even know. I'm just being me, so I don't even know what's going on half the time. So I really do appreciate that, Joel. Very kind words. And like I said, if I believe in something, I'm going to talk about it, guys. Arcade1Up, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. I believe in your product. Hello, let's go, man. But definitely, we have so we're not going to spin a wheel, Joel. We're not going to spin a wheel. No. We got a trivia question.
I thought we were going to spin a wheel. I mean, this keeps changing and evolving on me all the time. But
yeah, I don't
should have known better because you're a trivia guy.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, twofold. Yeah, there's that, and then I want, whenever I do giveaways on the channel, I want people that actually tune into the channel because they're channel question related to actually win. You should be rewarded for always tuning into our weekly podcast show or my videos or whatever the case may be. A spin and a wheel doesn't get the job done. So, with that being said, guys, we have a trivia question. Now, the first one to get it right will be the winner. Spelling counts, 100%. Because I could put a bunch of mumbo jumbo in, and if I got misspelled, I'm like, oh, I won.
I'm not sure if there's any spelling required for this. It's
yeah, there's gonna be a spell check required. So
numbers, right?
Yeah, definitely. So
make sure we're on the same page with this trivia question.
Yeah. So first one to answer. Joel, I remember the answer, but I'm gonna let you give the final confirmation to who got it. So the chat is getting hyped, guys. So get ready, guys. PD7's walking and talking. I'm glad he stopped for just a moment to say let's go and to join the chat. Thank you so much for stopping by. Guys, we got 66 people in the building. Hit that like, man. Hit the like. Just do it, man. Just do it. And when I put this QR code, we got 6 people to scan the QR code. It tells you the results. That's awesome. Cool. So super cool stuff. Like I said, go check out G.I. Joel stuff, guys. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to throw up the trivia question here. Okay. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for this? We'll just let it soak in a little bit. Get the Google machine ready. I think people are getting, a tab open and stuff like that. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1, here's the trivia question. Trivia question is, according to the Guinness World Record, what is the name of the tallest arcade machine to date? You know, we talked to Joel about, we're raising these things up with our inline
Kyle,
risers. So,
that's not right, Danny. That
oh,
it was. What is the height?
oh, okay. So we'll do height. I'm sorry. Thank you.
No,
Thank you for the correction.
it
Hold on.
was
We
what
got
is the
breaking
height?
news. Let's edit this real quick. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Watch it in the chats, though. What is the height?
Yeah.
When we're
What
talking about
is
risers and rising cabs up, what is the tallest arcade machine in Guinness Book of World Records? What is the height?
There we go. Let's go. Okay, this is a little bit better. What is the tallest arcade machine to date? In height, guys. In height. What is the height of that machine? Oh, we're getting. Oh, wait, hold on a second. We look at well, hold on. There's some accurate things in here. I think I saw it. Joel, what do you
I
what
think
do
we
you
have
think?
some Googlers going on too, because we're getting pretty exact here. But
I
I
got
don't know how we're gonna do we go with the exact or we go with the first closest?
I like the exact, you know me, because it separates the winners from the losers. Every yard counts. I think it's I don't want to call it out, but
Zero
is it
Redux
it's
is not happy with you, Danny,
yeah, okay, where is he? Where is he? Oh yeah, oh shit. I
because
don't
he
know.
did get it right too. He did have the name.
Joel, this is your show. This is your
So
prize. I'm gonna let you pick it, man.
all
I don't
right,
want to
so
be I don't want to be held responsible for this type of
things.
responsibility.
Let's dig through the chat. Who it was the correct answer that I was looking for was 16 feet. So I wasn't expecting people to know down to the exact number of like inches.
Okay, so technically, even though the question was a little wrong, technically everyone still had a fair shot because we had to reword the question a little bit here.
Right.
So I think, who do you think got it right then? Because I'm looking at one name.
Where is this? I got to pull it back up here. It looked like who was the very first?
Because I got a double answer. This person said the name and the height.
Yeah, from what I yeah, Damian Williams has the
Yep,
name and the height.
yep. That's what I'm going with. That was my first
I didn't even
inclination because
first. I saw when we were talking. At Fireside Arcade stood out, but he was second with so Tetris and 16 foot. So I guess
I think that's fair. I think that's fair for everybody here. I think that's
however,
fair.
I was gonna pull a one more thing because you said you had a trivia question too,
Okay,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
rather than doing that, I think we'll also give it to the first named Zero Redux.
Okay, dude.
Original.
Let's go.
All right, so we'll do
Oh,
two giveaways. So Zero
dude.
Redux, he had the name right with your first question that we typoed and bastardized there. Um, we we were talking about it before the show too, so I don't know how it got past me.
Yeah,
But
mistakes happen. We're
and then
look
we'll
at
go with Damien or Damian Williams was it? Yep.
Yep, we're gonna go.
Oh,
Damian Williams always in the chat every night we go live. Zero Redux as well, man. So we got Zero Redux and Damian Williams. Let's go, dude. Like that, Joel. I think that to me, to you, I think that deserves some hype music. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit a super chat sounder because that got me pumped up, guys. Let's go. That is awesome, Joel. You surprised me, dude. That's dude, Joel. What a guy! What a guy, man.
there is a caveat there. I am super backed up with orders, so don't expect these right away. I will. Honest man of my word, and I make sure everybody gets. And if you ever get anything that you're not happy with, please reach out and email me. I do my best to make it right. And make sure that I first and foremost I want people to be happy. This is I'm not doing this as a full-time gig. I'm doing it because right now I enjoy it and I enjoy making people happy and helping them out and adding to their collection, their customizing needs. So. Yeah. So if
I
you
wanna
guys
I wanna know
order
what the I
anything and it comes broken, or or it's just not up to par with what you were expecting, reach out and we can work something out. So
I wanna know what they're gonna pick. I'm curious to see
yeah.
what machine they're gonna put this on. Um, oh, Zero Redux going hard. He didn't have to do that, but Joel, as we do it here, we get hype. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit it. That's right, man. We got a Zero Redux $5 super chat saying you guys rock. Thank you so much, man, for supporting the channel. Really, really do appreciate it. Goes a long way to bringing us great content for you guys. Awesome. I mean, what a way to end the show, Joel.
Yeah.
Like that. Put a smile on my face. Like, dude, you didn't have to do that,
It
and
can't be too
you
hard
just
to do. You're just smiling all the time.
no, but I mean, it really does. It's really cool, man. If like me and my wife, guys, we would give the shirt off to our back to the whole community. I mean, we love you guys. We appreciate guys like you, Joel, that support us. Everybody in the chat. I mean, you can go on for days listening to names. We really, really do appreciate it. And Joel, can you believe we are on the road to 2K subscribers? I feel like I just had our
Nice.
1,000th show like a month ago, man.
Yeah, it
Like
wasn't that long ago.
it wasn't at all. I mean, time flies when you're having fun and you're modding now. Speaking of modding, a little channel update. The next cabinet to get buttons in, real buttons in, it will be MVC2 because I think the buttons are kind of crapping out in that one. I'm trying to hit the medium punch and it's just not working. And I looked at Mrs. Corner Gate. We both looked at each other. We're like, yeah, we're getting buttons for this. So that'll be the next cabinet that we do. But thanks to Joel here, Simpsons Project. We got a whole slew of everything. I mean, it's literally a shell right now. So we got a lot of cool stuff going on with that. But Joel, do you have any final words for the community?
Uh, I don't know. I got plenty of words for the community. No. I just saw Giovanni reach out to me, man. Yeah, we can talk and figure out what exactly you're looking for and you want, and we'll make it happen and figure it out. So send me an email. The winners, email Coracade if you can, and he'll pass on your information to me. And well, I think that'll be the most simplest. So
Yep.
then,
And that'll be right down below, the cornercade@gmail.com. Go ahead and email me your what I would say full name, address, and what riser you want. And then
or
like what
just
it is.
give him his so that he has your email and he can connect me with you, and we can work back and forth too. You can talk to me about what cab you want it for, and we'll get you squared away. So
100%, 100%. Well, guys, I
yeah.
appreciate
Oh, thanks everybody
everybody.
for the support. Danny,
100%.
especially you and Mrs. Cornercade for the enthusiasm and stuff. You don't have to do that, but I see you all the excitement and stuff. You guys are going above and beyond, to help me out. So I definitely appreciate it. Appreciate the community too. It's majority 99% of everybody are good people here. So I really enjoy being part of the community.
Anytime, man. We'd love to have you on. If you want to come back to the Cornercade anytime, man, you are welcome. The door is always open to you guys. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Leave a comment down below, guys. What'd you think of the show? What'd you think of Joe? What'd you think of these products, man? Let's go.
So
Give this video a like if
Damien's
you haven't.
asking. I don't know if it's clear. I mean, we were giving away the risers. So for a 3/4 scale inline riser, if you have one, if not, I guess we could do a countercade stand too if you wanted to. So
There you go. Your choice. The show is all about 3/4. You know what I mean? It's about the
but
arcades.
yeah,
But
we were talking about
hey,
the
we'll
the
take it.
risers. So if you got a 3/4, like as PD7 calls it, a PD or a peasant version arcade, that you have a stock riser on that you want to make it look a little bit more like a deluxe and inline. That's what that was what we're looking to give away here. So
100%, man. Your choice. That's even better now. Put the cherry on top for that giveaway. Guys, like I said, give this video a like if you haven't, guys. And as always, this is Danny and G.I. Joel from the Corner K, guys. And we will see you in the next one. Peace.